This number is one of the best predictors we've got for how long you'll live, and you probably don't even know what it is. Have you guys ever seen those videos of the people wearing those funny masks and they're running on the treadmill until they basically fall off the back? They're measuring what's called your VO2 max. Now, your VO2 max is the amount of oxygen you're able to absorb and utilize during high intensity activity. And that number is directly correlated with the amount of years you have left on Earth, but not just that, they're also correlated with the quality of those years. Like for example, in this study conducted by Satoru Kodama, they took 33 studies and over 100,000 participants and examined the relationship between cardiorespiratory fitness and all-cause mortality. So that is to say, how does cardiorespiratory fitness affect your risk of dying overall? And what they found was cardiorespiratory fitness reliably decreases risk of all-cause mortality. So quite literally, if you are fitter, you are less likely to die. So it goes without saying your VO2 max is a pretty important number, but how do we train? So on this front, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. The good news is you can train it and people improve theirs all the time. If you don't do much activity and you don't do much cardiovascular exercise, you can make meaningful improvements to your VO2 max quite easily. So you might walk at a slightly higher pace, you might walk on an incline, you might go for a little jog. Things like this will meaningfully improve your VO2 max. Now for the bad news. You guys that already train regularly, you do some cardiovascular exercise, your gains are going to be much harder to make. And the reason for this is as we do more exercise and more cardiovascular work in general, our body gets more accustomed and more efficient to do that work. So the gains that you see at the tail end are very different to the gains that you see at the beginning. And unfortunately that means you're going to be working at a much higher intensity in order to get small gains in your VO2 max. Now, the type of training that is most effective at improving your VO2 max is high intensity interval training performed at like 80 to 90% of your heart rate max. So that is to say, at an intensity where you feel like your lungs are about to explode. I'm not gonna lie guys, training your VO2 max fucking sucks. It is horrible. I dread it every time it comes around, but it is literally one of the best possible things you can do for your longevity overall. So pick whatever modality you'd like. You can go on the bike, you can go on the treadmill, you can go on the rower, or if you're a full-blown psychopath, you could potentially even do the assault bike. Your body does not know or care what machine you're using. Now, a popular method here is the Wingate 4x4x4 method, where you do 4 minutes of work at an 8 to 9 out of 10. With a 4-minute rest, and you repeat it 4 times. Now you don't have to do it exactly like this, but what we're trying to do basically is accumulate minutes at or near your VO2 max, which is basically to say accumulate minutes where you're basically dying. So shit as this type of training is, the silver lining is you really don't have to do it for long to get great results. If you do a 4x4x4, that is 32 minutes total work, including your rest time. So I'll do this type of training once a week, maybe twice if you're super keen. Any more than that and it starts to get quite fatiguing, quite taxing, especially if you're doing other exercise outside of this work. So for me personally, what my schedule looks like is I'll do one dedicated VO2 max day a week on Tuesday, and then I'll do some aerobic base steady state cardio on Wednesday and Thursday. Guys, this is not an exaggeration. If you do this type of work once, maybe twice a week, and then sprinkle in like 2 to 3 resistance training sessions a week, that is literally 90% of your longevity concerns taken care of. So if you're serious about improving not just your longevity, but the actual quality of your years as well, get on the treadmill, get on the assault bike, do some hard work, and reap the benefits all the way throughout your life. All right guys, that's all from me. Thank you for watching the video. I hope it helped, and I'll see you in the next one.